The women's changing rooms. First door on the left. You're welcome to come in. You would not want to miss this. Hosted by Ginette and Donessa.
Welcome back to the Women's Changing Rooms. I am Ginette.
And I am Donessa. Welcome to the Women's Changing Room, where all is stripped bare. We transverse the globe to empower and uplift all our women, all of you guys.
We sure do. We sure do. And today's topic we are going to be speaking about are all women. Sorry. Does all women have the right to work?
It is funny, Ginette, that you laughed, but sometimes it comes off like that. Like, why is it even a statement to begin with?
I know.
Does all women have the right to work? And I would say yes. Once that's what they want to do, if they want to work, they have all the right to do so.
And we're not just talking about does women have the right to work, as in like go to work 9 to 5? We mean, do they have the right to any job, any particular job they want to do? Should they be given the chance to do it, or do they have the rights to do it? So we'll be diving a bit more deeper into that subject.
Yes. Yeah. So do you think that all women have the right to work?
Yeah, most definitely. Of course they do. You know.
Yeah.
Like the 20th, are we in the 20th century? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're in 2022. And yes, obviously all women have the right to work. And they have the right to do, like I said before, whatever job they choose to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So should women work different jobs? Should they be given the opportunity to work different jobs? Any job that they choose to work?
Yes. I think women should be given the opportunity to do any job, even a man's what is seen as a particular man's job. You know, so construction, working on construction site. Who says a woman can't go and work on a construction, do painting and decorating, do plastering? You know, like who said that this is a man's job?
Yeah.
Who said that? Who's given that title that a man should be, you know, doing? We have, like, when you think of women jobs, like women are seen as like chefs, cooks and whatever, and we have men cooking and stuff. So yeah, a woman should be able to go into the workplace feeling empowered, doing whatever she feels comfortable and happy and passionate about doing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I do. I feel that they should work at any job or given the same opportunities as men. And I think it stemmed from, the past women, and even before the girls became women, the girls were given certain tasks in the house. So before, and sometimes now we see it still happening, where girls, their chores would be to sweep, mop, anything related to the house, inside the house, cleaning inside the house. But the boys would have to throw the trash or work in the garden or do something, more that we would say handsy or masculine, in that way. So I think it stemmed from that. And then as we get older, so we become woman and man, then the jobs that we go out to get paid for relates or relates to what we were given as kids. So based on that, I think that is where that thought came from and everything. Because if you were given the opportunity to do that, that means you have the experience in that. So women will go, and if they do have the opportunity to work, back then they would go and be servants, or tailors. Well, the tailors are for men, seamstress, and given that opportunity. So I feel like that is where it stemmed from. And then now it's passed down, especially for us here in Grenada. When I was growing up, that was the chores that we were given. I wasn't the one outside raking and doing all of that, although I had to throw the trash out. That was my job, and wash the dishes. So I think that is where it stemmed from. And once you have that, I guess that's what's gonna happen. But I don't believe.
Yeah, I feel like in Grenada there is a very, very traditional, and like it kind of stems down, like it's still up to this day, tradition has passed from many, many years ago.
Yeah.
So like you'll see like the women working in the bakery, the women doing, what other jobs, nurses and
majority of our nurses are women. And the thing, we're so conditioned with certain jobs, like when we see like the opposite gender doing it, we're like, oh, okay. And then we always think in our mind like, okay, maybe that girl is a tomboy because she's in the field, or that guy is more, girly, so he's in that field. And it happens to us. And I can speak for Grenada, and I can speak for myself, because when I see it, because of being conditioned that way to think that way, sometimes it pops in my head. And I have a friend actually that is into construction and into that kind of field. And if I see people on the side of the road doing that, then I'm like, okay, look at that tomboy, look at his person, look at that person. So yeah, it is happening here.
It's crazy. I mean, like over here, we'll have male nurses, we have like male hairdressers and stuff. And then you always think like they're stigmatized and thinking, oh, well, they must be, maybe gay or something. And that's not the case, because you've got a lot of, some are, but then you've got a lot that isn't. They just enjoy doing hair, and also we have like women painters, decorators and things like that. Even like with me, when it comes to in my household, I've painted my home, I do my gardening and things like that, so I'll build, like if there's a shelf that needs to be put up or whatever, I would do it. So it's just like, as well, I just feel women can do anything that a man can do as well. So it's not like, it shouldn't be, and that should go in the workplace as well. So it should never be limited of, oh, well, no, she can't do that because she's a woman, or she can't lift that because she's a woman. It's discrimination as well.
It is. And sometimes we do it and we're not even aware that we're doing it. For example, here in Grenada, like it's passed down based on what you learn from others. And even if you learn, like you get knowledge outside of your household. So for example, if you learn that, okay, boys are meant to, boys should not be playing with dolls, right? You learn that. And then you learn outside and you see other people doing that, boys doing that, then you're like, okay, you gain the knowledge that it's okay if a boy play with dolls and if a girl play with cars and so forth, because people are different. But because we have that, and boys should like blue and girls, babies, we put babies in pink, it's conditioned from to little things, and then to hear children talk about it. Well, why should your favorite color be pink? Because, but you're a boy, why? They question that, and sometimes it's indirect learning from the parents or from people, and the parents and the different individuals are not even aware that
Yeah.
they're putting that on them or having them think that way. And
Yeah.
we need to address, and we need to look at these little indirect education that we're passing down, because even if we may have knowledge outside of what we learn, we would always go back to what we learn. And it
Yeah.
happens to me, even if I'm aware of certain things that is happening, sometimes the first thought or the first thing that I go back to is based on what I learned indirectly. And that's something I have
Yeah.
to think what I
Yeah.
do and what I say, and and what I think. But that
Yeah.
indirect thing, it's
It's so true. It's so
yeah.
true, you know. It's like it's just the way we've been conditioned.
Uh-huh.
A lot of things like that affects us in our later life is the way we've been conditioned to think as well. So it follows us, you know, it follows us as we get older in our adult age as well. So
Yeah.
it's
And I'm sure, like, even if I'm aware that colors are colors, and I know if one day I have a baby, obviously if I have a girl, I have more pink stuff for the girl, or more, that color that was associated. Even if I have that knowledge, we still tend to go back there. So all in all, even if we are conditioned, or even if we were taught directly or indirectly jobs that are associated with women and men, please gain the knowledge from what is happening now, that it is okay if you see somebody, a woman being a farmer, if you see a man being a nurse. It doesn't mean that they're a tomboy or a girly girl, a girly boy, It doesn't always have to be a hidden agenda behind it, or hidden something.
It's interesting as you say that, because it's like if we saw that over here in the like, that's norm. Like if we wouldn't be like, oh well, she must be a tomboy because she's a, or or he must be, like, I mean, maybe we may, if it's in the hairdressing field, may question like, oh, we do. But I mean, in terms of like when it comes to like being a chef or being in like a woman, like you said, working in the farms and whatever, we don't necessarily think, oh, she's a tomboy or whatever, So it's interesting how it just differs, how like I said before, like the traditional has in Grenada, how it's just stemmed and it's just stick and so rigid,
It is.
It's very, very interesting.
It is getting better. However, you can still tell from that back in the day tradition.
Yeah.
You're seeing more men and women exploring the different fields that we have here. And obviously we have others doing their do and sticking to what they love and what they are passionate about. But we do have some people who are stuck in their ways, for sure.
Oh,
yeah.
it's interesting.
Why is it important, Ginette, for people, well, not for people, but particularly women to work? Why do you think
Why is it important?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a sense of independence. Women, it's always good to go and make your own money. I just think the whole independence of it all is nice. You feel like empowered, that you're making your money and also doing something.
Yeah.
You want to get up each day and feel like you've done something. I mean, you're up. There are women out there that just don't want to work and just feel comfortable sitting in the house or just maintaining the house or whatever. But for me, I just feel like going out, doing whatever, whether it's whatever you choose to do, if it's a 9 to 5, 10 till 2 or whatever, you know, you're making your money. No one could say anything to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's so important just to try and, you know, do that.
That independence back. Yeah.
Independence, yeah.
And why not? Like, why do we always have to ask all of these questions? I believe if that's what the woman wants to do, that's what the woman wants to do, and that is her importance, being independent, just doing something that they want to do and not what society imposes on them for them to do, you know? So
yeah, I mean, I like to think, I feel like in Grenada, I don't know, it's only because I'm like, this question comes a lot over and over and over again in our, like when we speak in terms of women and work. And I would love to like, is that I would like to know the percentage. Well, you won't be able to know the percentage, but like roughly how many women in like Grenada are maintaining the home and how many are like actually going out and working.
Yeah.
Because is it such a thing in Grenada where like women should be like left at home and maintaining the house and looking after kids, seeing after the kids and whatever, and the men going out to work? Because over here it's not like, it's just normal. It's not like an issue where a woman goes out to work, and it's just like a norm, you know, it's not nothing. So I would love to know, like, what do you think? Is it like
I think
more
now
the
we
women
are
are
more, I don't have a percentage, but I think we are more on the end, like right now, 2022, we're on the end where we have a lot of our women in the workplace working versus taking care of the house, being a stay-at-home mom or whatever the proper term is it for it now. But I do believe that right now we do have most our women out in the working field. We do have women also at home, but the percentage is greater on the women out work.
And do you think like the geographical area like has an effect on like, so would you think like more women in town are working as opposed to the women in country? And the kind of jobs that they're getting, like, are the women in town getting more better jobs? When I say town, I mean St. George's. Are they getting better jobs than those who are in country, say, as opposed to someone in St. Patrick's and things like that? Because obviously, most likely, St. George's is where they got like the more.
Yeah, and that's the city, so it has more, hotels and all of that. Yeah. I would like to believe that, yes, based on where you live on the island, you would have different outcomes. So I've been born and lived here in St. George's. So I would say that the people in St. George's are more out in the field versus at home. When you compare it to probably people, I don't even know, like people in maybe in St. Max, this is my opinion. That is based on like seeing and hearing things. But I'm sure the numbers are not that great. I am sure the people in St. George's who are working, the women who are working, there's not a big gap versus if you talk about somebody in St. John's, you know.
Okay.
I don't think there's a big gap, but I do think that there are more. In terms of people and the different jobs that they get, because St. George's, we have the hotels, we have most of the people who come on the island, majority of them stay in St. George's. Yes, they take tours and everything and visit the different parts of the island. So the jobs differ for sure. for sure on that one. The jobs differ. But we do have people that live in the countryside come to the town side for their
Yeah.
9 to 5 or their work. So
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see as well how much people, because the commute as well from St.
we
George's
have a
to
lot.
from like say from St. Patrick's
Mhm.
to St. George's,
Yeah,
you know, the
we have a
commute.
lot.
Yeah.
We do. We do. Because we have a lot of our young people, for
Mm,
example, are in the tourism industry. So whether
mm,
they're working restaurants, they're working um, at maybe the hotels,
mm,
we have a large percentage of youths working in that area. And obviously, we have, it's not, St. George's is not Grenada. Although
mm.
people from St. George's would like to think so, but it's not Grenada. We have other
Mm,
parishes as well. So we do have a
mm,
lot of them coming, making the commute come down. And we
mm,
do have also some of them leaving the countryside, renting places that are
mm,
closer, whether it be St. David or even
mm.
in St. George's, actually, so they don't have to make that commute also. So we
Yeah.
have both.
Okay.
But I would like to get that statistic though. I wonder if
Yeah.
it's out there. Maybe we should Google it.
It's true.
If
It's
we-
true.
Yeah.
And do you think like the jobs that they get as well, like in terms of the opportunities
Mhm.
that they get, do you think it differs in terms of what do I want to say? My mind's just went blank. So just bear with me on
Yeah,
that
that's
one.
okay. It differs in terms of men,
Like,
in terms of
no, I mean in terms of like the women, the jobs that the women are allocated in terms of like the age range as well. So do you think like the younger generation of women are getting the better jobs than the
versus the
older
older.
generation versus the older, especially as tourism is such a thing in Grenada as well?
Yeah,
You know, do you think like
no.
or is it equal?
I think it's equal. I mean, you
Mm,
obviously you see, this is what we do. We see more so the young people in the forefront most of the time. We see
mhm,
more the young people. But I believe the other, because we have in the tourism industry, we have different jobs. So,
mhm,
and we have different position within a business. So
yeah,
while we do have young people in managerial positions, I would say there are more young people in the forefront. So being
forefront.
on the desk,
Okay.
being servers, being, different things like that. I would say you'll see a bigger percentage of young people now doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm,
But we do have people of all ages doing different things.
okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. And I don't know why, but I feel like because restaurant jobs and hotel jobs, because tourism is one of the areas that we
Mm,
rely heavily on here in
yeah,
Grenada. I believe these are the jobs that people go to quicker, or like call center
yeah.
jobs. I don't know. And that is based on my memory and recollection and people that I know. They will
Okay.
go there,
Mm.
That's what.
And there isn't like, I suppose there's not much tech jobs going in Grenada, like technical,
I
like,
mean, we do have a fair amount. Obviously, it
mm,
would not be grand as maybe,
yeah,
China or Japan,
mm,
obviously, but we do
yeah, yeah.
have a lot. I mean, skills area, because we're like, okay, we're conditioned in the way that we want people to be lawyers, doctors,
Yeah,
the jobs that we feel like,
yeah.
okay, that we were taught about, and so we do have a lot of people in that field, but we do, now
Mm,
that you're seeing it, we have a lot of people in the technical and the skills area too. for sure.
And that's another thing as well in tech. Women in tech. Women. Is there much women or is it more men?
I would say we have more men in tech currently. Do we have women? For sure. But in terms of numbers, men.
Dominated by men.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. Even when you go to school, like even when we're in college, because that's where we specify based on, you know, we think about what we want to do or what we want to be. Even in that area too, you'll find mostly men in that, especially when I went to college, there were more boys in studying. Yeah. So so talking about that and talking about jobs and schooling and all of that, do you think women should be and men should be paid the same wage for a specific job that they have in common?
No. I'm joking. No, of course. No, definitely.
Why or why not?
No, definitely. Of course, they're doing the same job, you know. So why is it that men are earning more than what women earn? I don't understand it. But yeah, I totally think women and men equally should be paid the same.
Yeah, I mean, yes. Okay, so where my mind is at is like, okay, yes, once I hear that question, obviously I'll be like, yeah, why would you want, they have the same job, they're doing the same thing, but why would one be paid more than the other? And as we see most of the time, why are men being paid more than women? But is it because their qualification is different? Is it because their experience is different? Is it because we think that they're skilled in that area versus the women? And even if, let's say, construction, we have some women that are into that field, but are they, I don't know, I don't even want to say capable, but can they hold it down like versus a man would? You know.
Oh, of course they can. Do you know what? As you broke that down, what came into my head was like, in fact, women should maybe be paid more, considering what we have to go through every month and in pain and all that struggle, and we still have to go to work, you know. So maybe they should be paid even more.
And then come back home and still take care of the family. And
exactly. So yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, in terms of on a serious note though, in terms of the experience and no, I just think what a man could do, a woman could do, you know, and that's what it should be seen in society as in society, you know. Who says that a woman can't lift whatever the man's lifting, or, you know, drilling whatever the man's drilling, or welding, things like that? Of course they can.
Yeah,
so
and don't come
and I don't think that should have an effect on the pay rate, and I don't know why they do it.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, and that shouldn't be an excuse to why you choose to pay a man more than a woman. But we do have a lot of jobs that even if they have the same qualification, experience, whatever, we do have a lot of jobs out there where men are still being paid more than women with the same job or
it's crazy.
Yeah, but let's normalize this. It's come on, what is the difference? They have the same thing, so why don't they deserve to be paid the same? Yeah,
crazy.
Yep. As we go on with this discussion, which is more important, qualification or experience? Because we just touched on it.
I'll say experience. And why I say experience is because you could be qualified, you could have the qualifications, but then when you go for a job, they want the experience, you know. Oh, how many years experience do you have in the field? So and to be honest, you can learn. Like, you can learn, especially in this day and age with it's technology, the internet, everything. You can learn anything you want online, research, do your own research, and become very knowledgeable in whatever field you choose to go down. But you need the experience. Without the experience, they ain't going to take you. And it's crazy because when you go for jobs, you're like, oh, do you have this much experience? No, I don't. If you're not going to give me the opportunity, how am I going to get the experience?
Exactly.
And then they ask you, like, I'm capable. Like, they ask you, do you have transferable skills? You say yes, but then they still want experience in that field. So it's really difficult. Well, I know that's over here anyway, when you're applying for jobs, but
here too.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is, because it's like going to the bank, going for a loan, and then they want you to have certain amount of money in your account. Well, obviously, if I have certain amount of money in my account, I'll use that instead of asking you for the loan.
That's right.
Somebody. So it's kind of like
exactly.
that. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like, which is more important? Both, they're important. However, we have people out there with the experience and they can do it, and we have people out there with the qualification and they can do it, and we still have people with both and they can do it. So what I'll say for the people with the qualifications, please give them the opportunity to get that experience so they can in turn, continue. And then the people with the experience, maybe give them the opportunity to now, go and get the qualifications also. So you're helping, you're building them. So I don't feel like it's the question as which is more important. And it depends on giving people that go ahead and giving them that drive to, okay, let's do it. Whether you have the qualification or whether you have the experience, give them the opportunity so they can do it, and then still give them the opportunity so they can get the experience and the qualification if they don't have it. So
most definitely.
Okay. But do you have the experience? Like, no, you're looking at my resume. I just finished college. I just finished secondary school. Why are you asking me about it? No, I don't.
I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And then the education system, well, I can speak for Grenada, the education system already is a mess. Here, in terms of you need to have English and math to go to college. And obviously, if I don't have English and math, then I would want to go and work. Obviously, I don't have the experience to do certain things. So all I need is the opportunity to be able to do it. So we have to think about it.
It's so crazy, but
it is.
There you go, isn't it? Sometimes we can't win.
Oh, and well, we're almost coming to an end, but I think I'm gonna ask the last question, and if you have anything else to ask, then we can go ahead. But should a woman be paid more or less than her female counterpart if they have more experience than qualification? So, like, say for example, me and you, should we be paid more or less if you have qualification and I have experience? Who should be getting more, or should we be getting the same?
I think the person who's got experience should be getting more, because you've got experience. You could start the job if you both go for the job. You'd be able to hit the ground running, as opposed to the person who's got the qualifications. They will still need to be shown the ways of working in the field, like even though they know, maybe have like book smart, know what to, but in terms of, it's different when you go into the fields and actually working. So they will still need to be taught the ropes of what to do. So that's time consuming. So I think the person with experience should definitely
to do that. Yeah, I think to start, I would say the person with the experience and they don't have the qualification, but they have the experience. I think to start, obviously, their salary should be higher than, but as the person with the qualification work their way to the experience, then obviously I believe that their salary should eventually become more than just the person with the experience. That's just my opinion.
And that's because they've got I'm going to be devil's advocate, but that's because they've got a certificate to say that they've been taught.
It's true. I mean, when you look at it, it's gonna to somebody it's gonna be unfair.
Yeah.
But I just don't believe, like, okay, say for example, that person, I have the experience, right? And you have the qualification and you're coming in and I teach you, and then eventually now you have the qualification and then you have the experience, and all I have is the experience, then I believe that you trump me eventually. Yeah.
I suppose. I see what you're saying. I see where you're going with it. I understand what you're saying.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah. Because obviously if I'm in that position, you better watch it.
Exactly. It's so true. Oh my God. So
funny. And that's where problems come out,
Yeah.
Women and men, women versus women, qualification, experience, all of that have a part to play. But overall, with this topic of discussion, should women work? Yes, once they want to do that, the choice is theirs and not society and not tradition and not customs.
Yeah, most definitely. 100%. Yeah, 100%. I'm with you 100% on that. Women should have the opportunity to get into whatever fields they would like to. And I just don't think they should face discrimination because they want to do something that a man, what is seen as a typical man's job, So I just feel like what a man could do, a woman could do too.
Give us
in
the
terms
chance.
of the work.
Give us a chance to get the experience. Give us a chance to study that, and give us a chance to actually work and not underpay us and pay our men more than us.
Yeah.
Just give us the chance. Society.
Exactly.
And that's the discussion today. It just amazes me and baffles me every time that we sit down here, how long we can talk about just any topic. I believe we can just give us a word and we'll just go on and on about with meaningful conversation.
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
we seriously go deep. We dive very deep into discussions. Well, I like to think so anyway.
Yeah. And I do like how sometimes we think we have similar thoughts, but sometimes we have different thoughts, but we understand where we are coming from,
Coming from, definitely.
I like that. So
guys, I hope you enjoyed this.
I hope so too. And let us know what you think. Okay, tell us on our socials, or tell us in the comments on YouTube if you're listening on YouTube. So thank you guys, and we will see you in the next podcast.
Bye guys.
Bye.